Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Legio and this is City Skylines Mahigan, episode 9, Condos and Tourism. So today's episode, just like I said, I'm gonna be building some condos and tourism, and I'm gonna fill up this big old area right here. I'm tired of seeing the empty space, so we're gonna get it filled. Might be a long episode. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna try something a little bit different this episode. Instead of the usual history lesson, I'm going to change things up. I'm going to do the history lesson during the fast play. So if you want that, you're going to have to watch the fast play. And it's not going to be on an actual historical, real world thing. We're going to do the history on Mahigan itself, because I've got a little pseudo history I've been cooking up. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And if you do enjoy it, please remember to leave a like and or subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into the build and the history. Okay guys, so like I said, we're changing things up a little bit, and I'm going to do a fictional history on the city of Mahigan. It's not super detailed, and I plan on maybe, if this gets big enough, put it on like a Wikipedia page for people to enjoy. So the approach I took with this is I kind of wrote it like it's a Wikipedia entry anyways. So, you know, it's pretty simplified. There's not a lot of detail to it, but hopefully you guys enjoy it while you watch what's on your screen, and time to time I'll talk about what's on the screen too. So, the city of Mahigan, let's start with its history. It's located on the southern shores of Lake Mahigan at the mouths of two rivers, the Mahigan River and the Marchand River. It was originally founded as a French trading outpost, and it developed to become a regional center for the Great Lakes system, continuing into the modern era. Mahigan is a county seat and is surrounded by the cities of Marchand, Nishna, Artus, and Castor. The name Mahigan is a French rendering of the Cree word of Mahican, meaning timber wolf. This refers to the vast amount of timber and wolves that inhabited the area when the Potawatomi people first inhabited the area. Sorry if I butcher that name. The French kept the Cree name and changed it into Mahigan due to the language similarities, because the Potawatomi and the Cree both fall under the Algonquin family language tree, and they had already marked this area as Mahigan on their maps, so they just kept it and ran with the name because it was easier to do that, and there was basically an understanding. Also, this is a fictional city, so I didn't get into the weeds. So, the first settlement was established in 1680 by Jean Artus as a trading fort named Fort Mahigan. The fort grew rapidly, and due to its location on the lake and the two rivers, that drove trade, primarily trading in beaver pelts. The Potawatomi tribe granted the French access to the central landmass, which is where I've been building on the screen through the entire thing. So, if you remember the map, two rivers. The river to the north, what we're saying is north, is the Marchand River, and the river to the east, that is the Mahigan River that heads south. So they got that central location where the downtown has been. The fort grew rapidly due to its location between the two rivers. The Potawatomi tribe granted them that central land due to it being very marshy. So when they gave it to them, it was very marshy land, very swampy. Very similar to how Chicago was established. Relations between the locals and the French were actually very good and very prosperous, because both sides reaped a lot of benefits. If you remember your history, the French were very good to, okay, I don't want to say they were very good, but they treated Native Americans better than, say, the Spanish and or the English. And in my fictional history, the natives and the French were side by side in this area. So, getting back to this, the relations between the locals and the French were positive for both sides in the beginning, and there was a great amount of social intermingling, meaning marriages and trade, and just generally living in peace and prosperity. This kind of came to an end though due to a smallpox outbreak that killed many of the natives and left the tribe more or less decimated. This prompted the tribe to assimilate even more with the French, to the point that the tribe itself saw it more as a Potawatomi French mixture. So that more or less kind of killed them out and gave the French and European influence domination over this area. This continued through even the French and Indian War, which I'm not going to get into the weeds on that because I got to work that out. Just know the French lost and Great Britain took over the area until Napoleon kind of took it back. That's actual history for you. But for our purposes, the Louisiana Purchase ceded the Mahigan area into U.S. control, and due to this, it experienced a rapid growth from Easterners moving west for its land, because by this time they'd more or less knocked all the timbers out. It no longer was a timberland, and they came over here for farming in the first great boom, in the first great migration, I should say. A large boom occurred in 1825 with the completion of the Erie Canal. That's a history fact. That linked the Great Lakes to the Atlantic. That is a truth fact as well. And seemingly overnight, the population tripled and continued a rapid growth going into the 20th century due to massive industrialization and its location between the two big rivers and on the lake. With the increase of trade and population, Mahigan expanded over both rivers, going north and east, giving us the settlements of Marchand, Nishna, Artus, and Castor. And I'm going to have histories for those as well, but for right now, that's basically what you need. So the highlights out of this history is Mahigan was originally a French fort that was founded and was primarily a beaver trading post, and that's going to play an importance to the city going forward. I'm going to try to do everything I can to keep it tasteful, and I wanted this to reflect actual American history because in the Chicago area the French settled there and they kind of kicked the natives out, and I didn't want it to be gruesome and dark, but also historically speaking, Native Americans didn't get a good end of the stick in this. But I wanted Native American culture to kind of come through in these cities, and I'm going to try to get more of that going forward. But in downtown settings, you just don't have a lot of Native American influence into downtowns. But we're going to get that more as I get away from the downtown core of the city. So talking about what's going on screen, did a lot of condos in this build, which I like building condos. I think they're kind of fun. I also did a lot of shopping, because shopping to me is a tourism thing, because the locals aren't going to shop at these stores all the time, but a lot of people are going to come into the city to shop at these stores, and you're going to see that towards the end. I do like a very luxurious shopping area. So had a lot of fun with this build. You've also probably noticed I do a lot more with procedural objects. I'm just getting more comfortable with the mod in general, and I kind of went nuts with it, and it's letting me fit into spaces that I just couldn't do earlier. So hopefully you guys are enjoying me using procedural objects. I know I'm enjoying it. On the screen here, you're going to see me build what I'm extremely proud of, and that being the mall, or the Galleria. It's called Skylines Mall because that's the sign that I have, and you're going to see that come up later. I had a lot of fun building this. It was an easy build thanks to procedural objects, not very hard. It was just bits and piecing stuff together, finding stores that I liked that went with the theme. And by theme, it's just an American mall. It's very standard, but I like it. Threw a Whole Foods in there. I threw a Target in there. There's a Starbucks with it. So it's very American. But yeah, really happy with it. I posted a picture of this on my Facebook page prematurely, or early, I guess you could say, because I was really proud of it. I just really like the way it turned out. Proud. So did a lot of detailing of it off screen, like the parking lots. That got detailed off screen because I don't think you guys want to watch me detail parking lots. I figured you'd rather see me place buildings. That's just my thinking. If I'm wrong, let me know. And I feel like I've been talking quite a bit, and this was a longer episode, so I'll fill the rest of it with some music. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Alright guys, we're back with the live play. Hopefully you enjoyed the quick play. If you did, please remember to leave a like and or subscribe. So let's kind of review what we built here. We built a art museum. I used the Guggenheim from New York. I think it's going to work here because it's going to be along this lakefront property here. And since it's a video game, I can steal from real world places. I don't have a problem doing that. Built a nice little thing here. This took me a while, this cobblestone. There was a lot of procedural objects and finicking with it. One thing I was proud of, but it's so simple to do, is these walls right here. These are just stone retaining walls, and I just adjusted the heights to give them a wave look. I don't know why, I just thought that looked cool. I forget the name of this building, but I pretend that's a big shopping area as well. Back here, we built our mall. I'm really proud of how this came out and detailed. So, yeah, Skyline Mall. I'm just using one of the signs in it. I'm treating it like it's a galleria, so Skyline Mall Galleria, I guess is what it's going to be called. Then we have some basic condos and hotels throughout here. Some big buildings over here that I just used to fill space. All procedural objects, more or less. This building got some nice little decals. Like, how nice does that look? That looks really nice. You know what? That is so nice. And back it up a little bit. Boom, picture time. Fantastic. Just fantastic. And then this little area. This is like high-end shopping, and it's not done, but this episode is already getting really long. So we got like Louis Vuitton and Burberry and Prada, places I can't afford to shop, you know. So I figured, you know, high-end luxury would go well here, and it's probably going to expand over here. I just haven't gotten around to building this yet, and I wanted to get the episode somewhat wrapped up. So yeah, that's basically it. One last thing is, finally, after me fighting with it for months because it did not want to work for some reason, I got US United Roads. So I love the look of them. They look way better. What I was using was nice. These fit in American City. This is an American City. We needed American roads. Just, it makes me happy. So yeah. With all that said, guys, I greatly appreciate you sticking this out with me to the end. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please remember to leave a like and or subscribe. And with that, have a good day. See you next time.